Brrrr. Spicy's in the house, my people, and are we going to reach the goal of 5,000 subscribers soon? Because as you know, I would give out 8 Amazon gift cards of $25 each. 8 gift cards, that's double than last time. You have more chance to win, so go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Also let me know if you subscribed in the comment so I can show you some love. Congratulations Maxwell for the comment of the day. Wholesome, I don't work here lady. My wife and I went to Aldi a few days ago. Another couple appearing to be in their 90s came in about the same time as we did. We had only a few things to get, so I grabbed an empty cardboard box to load them into instead of getting a cart. I am carrying a box full of produce around, looking for the next item on my list, when the elderly lady asked me if I knew where X was. I'm sorry ma'am, I don't actually... Oh, I'm so sorry. You don't work here, do you? I'm so sorry. That's okay, don't worry about it. And she turned back to her husband. I found what I was looking for, and we continued about our lives. No screaming, no drama, just two sane people dealing with an innocent mistake. But she didn't grab you and swear at you? You didn't do your best to call her Karen and mock her? How disappointing. Nah, because neither of you guys were crazy. That was a wholesome story, and thank you. I need my coffee. Obligatory. This happened with my previous employer. At my last job, our uniform consisted of a red polo shirt and black slacks. A common uniform combo for a number of companies. I knew well to stay away from Target after work. Anyway, I would frequent a local gas station by my work, a QT. For those unfamiliar with the chain, QT is a more upscale gas station and the associates wear a red polo and either black or khaki pants. Depending on how the weather was, I would usually wear a pullover or something to cover my uniform. Well, this one day, it was nicer out, so I was just dressed and ready for work. I go to grab a coffee and a donut, and as I am grabbing a bag for my donut, I felt someone hit the back of my arm. I ignore it because the place is packed and I assume someone did it by accident, trying to get past me. Again, I feel an aggressive tap this time on my shoulder, followed by a rather loud, "Excuse me." I turn and say, can I help you? Poor choice of words. I see before me an older man, maybe in his late 60s, and he says to me, yeah, maybe instead of rearranging damn donuts, you can fix the coffee station. You're out of X flavor. I try to bring things down and say, I'm sorry, I don't work here. He gives me a once over, looks at the other guys behind the counter, who are now staring at him, and then he says, you just don't want to help me. Where's your manager? Is it him? He points to the cashier, an older gentleman. Again, I say, sir, I really don't work here, and I pointed to my company name on my shirt. He looks at it and now clearly embarrassed has the audacity to say, and I kid you not, well, maybe don't wear that if you don't want to get stopped in here. Then I had to say it. Sorry, I am not allowed to grab my breakfast on my way to work. I will make sure to wear street clothes the next time I am in here if it helps. Then comes, you got a problem? The cashier was the manager and called over another associate to calm the old F down and got him his damn coffee. To my surprise, a few other people defended me and noted to the staff how the old man was copying attitude from the start. I actually got a free coffee and donut out of the whole fiasco. So that was nice. People never cease to amaze me. It is funny how quickly embarrassment turns into anger for some people. And this one actually makes sense. You pointed out the logo and he understood it. Oh, sorry. You're caller number 3. Try again. When I first moved into the current apartment, we got a phone line bundled with our cable because it lowered our bill. Apparently, the number we got was previously owned by a company that specializes in converting old video formats, VHS, beta, laserdisc, etc. to modern formats. This was confusing to me because I have been known to tinker around with that in my spare time for friends. The first few times I got calls about converting VHS tapes, my honest thought was, okay, which of my friends know this guy? Eventually, we changed the number. This time, the number we got was not previously owned by a business. It was just someone who was on every goddamn calling list out there. Telemarketer calls day and night. First, we just unplugged the phone line, but I'd plug it back in from time to time as we needed it. One day, I forgot to unplug it. and we got another telemarketer call. Feeling whimsical and drunk, I answered the phone like this. Red Light Radio! Congratulations, you're caller number 4. You have won a $50 gift card to local pizza chain if you can tell me what today's secret word is. Hello? Yep, hello, this is Red Light Radio and you are on the air. I'm calling from a national research firm. Would like to ask you some questions about the upcoming election. Sorry, you have called an internet radio station. Unless you know the secret word or would like to request a song, I'm afraid I can't help you. Oh, this is a business? We'll take you off the list. My wife was listening at the time and found it hilarious. We would jokingly discuss the idea before, but at that point, she insisted I keep at it. From then on, whenever we answer the phone, if we answer the phone, would claim to be an internet radio station named Red Light Radio. Sometimes we'd say they were caller number 4. Sometimes we'd say they were not the right caller and hang up. And sometimes we will ask if they wanted to request a song. We figured anybody who actually needed to talk to us would catch on that it was us. And if not, we will call them back. Not a single worthwhile call was ever made to that number. Literally, every call made to the phone past that point was a telemarketer. Not only that, the flood of calls that started at the beginning dropped off noticeably once we stuck to the bit for more than a week. It was an amusing way to pass the time with that phone line until the promotional deal ended and it was no longer saving us money to have it. As a side note, I later found out that there's a real Red Light Radio, which was a coincidence. I picked the name since prostitution is legal in Nevada and some of the most prominent brothels are not too far away from here. Also, it was memorable. Also, I was drunk, and if I did it over again, I would Google the name before I committed to it. Confused for an employee 5 times in 3 different stores. Last week, I went furniture shopping to fill up my new apartment and was looking for very specific things, so I drove around to a bunch of different stores. In the first store I went to, I had the first incident. I was talking on the phone when I feel a tap on my shoulder and turn around to see a little old lady asking me nicely if we had the sideboard she was looking at in different wood colors. I just responded slightly confused that I did not work there and had no idea, but pointing out that I saw an employee walking past here a few minutes ago and sent her in that direction. Nothing too crazy. I just figured she saw me talking about the display furniture on the phone and figured I worked there. 10 minutes later, I was still in the same section, not being able to settle on anything and already on my way out when I hear someone clearing their throat behind me. I've read a lot of stories on this subreddit and I was always already confused for an employee once, so I kinda knew what was coming. I turned around and was promptly asked by a less polite middle-aged woman where a certain section was, and I truthfully replied that I had no clue and just walked away. Now, I was not wearing something flashy, only a plain black t-shirt and blue jeans, and the employees at the first store wear very flashy polo shirts in pink, green, and yellow with the company's name in large letters on the front and back. So I have no idea where they got the idea from. Since I still had not found what I wanted, I made my next stop to a very famous furniture store with a blue and yellow color scheme. Again, you'd think with a black shirt I don't fit into the expected mold of an employee there. Not to make a long story longer, I was confused with an employee there again, twice. At this point, I wondered if I was actually wearing something I was not aware of, or if me walking around with my phone in hand, comparing prices and pictures, looked like I was doing inventory. After disappointingly finding nothing I liked, I made my way to our third store. That store did not have a uniform. The only thing giving away the employees were name tags clipped to their chests. At this point, I want to stress that I did not wear a name tag, because apparently that was not obvious, as after 10 minutes in the store, I was cornered by a slightly older couple and told to order them some furniture that have delivered. I did not even get a word and could not tell them I did not work there before they had shoved their order form in my face. I finally got a word in and I said I don't work there and tried to give them back their form because I literally could not do anything with it. They refused to take it back. told me I clearly worked there because I was inspecting the furniture so closely. Does not everybody closely look at furniture they want to buy? And to go put their order in the system. I just blankly stare at them, dropped their form on the floor and walked away. I honestly had no idea what it was about that day. I have been confused for an employee a few times before, but at least those people realized their mistake rather quickly. But 5 times in one day? That was just weird. I don't work for the church, I just live there. A little background. A month ago, I moved in a new apartment that is rented by the church. Because of this, everyone assumes that I work for them. At nearly the same time as I moved in, a new pastoral speaker had started his job at our parish community, so I often get confused with him. I am an optician, as you can tell by my name. Most of the time, if someone mistakes me for a pastoral speaker, I just say, "Sorry, I don't work here, I just live here," and they apologize. The house I live in contains my apartment and the parish office. It has a small yard in the front and a bigger one in the back. We have a guy who takes care of the front yard, and sometimes he tries to have a look after the backyard too, but mainly he doesn't have the time for it. I love work with plants and plants. My father is a gardener and I learned a lot from him, so I started to clean up the backyard, but I didn't want to destroy anything that the other guy placed there on purpose. Now to the story. This week, I finally managed to speak to him. Every Tuesday, I have my day off. I had my windows open, so I heard some was down into the backyard. I had looked and recognized it was the gardener, so I went down and we had a talk. It went really well. I told him what I was planning to do in there, and apparently I can do down there whatever I want. Yeah. After a while, he told me that he had business elsewhere and had to finish his work here. So we went inside. I went into my apartment and he threw the door next to it. I just went through my door as he called me back and asked where I'm going and that he really had no time and really needed help. He told me that the lady at the front desk had told him that I would help him. I was a bit confused by this. Why would she tell that without asking me first? But I was free and glad I could help. He showed me some furniture that had to be brought down. I helped him. As we brought the first piece down, the new pastoral speaker saw us and told me that he would be with us in a minute. That's when I realized that the gardener had me mistaken for the new pastoral speaker. But there were only 2 more pieces of furniture, so I finished it. After everything was brought down, I told the gardener that I would tell the pastoral speaker that we are already finished the work, so the gardener could get to his next appointment. That was when he realized his mistake. He apologized and we had a good laugh about it. Sorry that it turned out so long and that they were not really a real twist, but have a nice Sunday. You should change your haircut then. Since it's been so hot this summer, I made it a habit to stop by the McDonald's near my workplace and grab some ice cream every day. Last week, I walked in and ordered the same as always, then went to the window seat and ate my ice cream while browsing on my phone. After a few minutes, I saw one of the employees walk in my direction, looking pissed off. "Hey, why are you just sitting there? It is not your lunch break yet." "What? I don't work here. What do you mean?" "Of course you do. I see you here every day." "Yes, I eat ice cream here every day during my lunch break. I work over there at this other company." "Wait, what's your name?" I tell him my name. "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Nia." "Who's Nia?" "Doesn't matter. You look so much alike. You have the same exact haircut and probably the same height too. And Nia has that shirt as well." At that point, I did not even answer anymore. I just wanted to leave, so I stood up and excused myself, but not before getting interrupted again. "Oh, I know. You should just get a haircut and I won't mistake you two again, or dye your hair differently. You know, maybe you should dye your hair neon pink so I immediately know when not to come in anymore." After that, I ignored his indignant face and walked out. I have not been back since. I was wearing all black, so not even close to the official uniform colors employees wear. Wow, the ice cream machine did not break once when you decided to get there? We gotta go together to McDonald's. Before you get away or enjoy my playlist of IDontWorkHereLady videos, remember to subscribe to have a chance in winning one of the 8 Amazon gift cards I will be giving away when we reach the goal of 5,000 subscribers. Thank you for your support, thank you for being here, and See you in the next video. Bye bye.